Hello, my name's Mary English and this is my YouTube page. And what I thought I'd share with you today is where the planet's going to be for 2019, because January is a very busy time of year for astrologers, and a lot of the questions that you're going to have are going to revolve around just your sign of the zodiac. However, I need to make sure that you understand that even if you don't know anything about astrology, what I'd like you to remember after this session today is astrology's not just your sun sign. So say you're a Gemini, true astrology isn't just about the sign of the zodiac that your sun is in. So your sun is in the sign of Gemini, making you a Gemini. But if you have your own personal birth chart drawn up, then you'll see that there's a lot more to your chart than just your sign of the zodiac. So I just used Gemini as an example there. I don't know if I've got one that I could quickly show you, but we'll just use some random person here. So this person is this person's got Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus in Aries. So this person actually is an indigo. This is a real live living person. Okay, so if you look at that there, and I don't know how easily this is going to zoom in. So if you see, that's the trouble with these things. Okay, if you see the center of the circle, which is sort of I don't know if you can even see that. There we go, that's a bit better. So you see the yellow circle in the center of that. If you imagine that's the Earth spinning in space, all around the edge of it you've got all the signs of the zodiac, and that is what is a birth chart. Okay, so this particular person was born with the sun in the sign of Aries, which you'll see over on the if you're looking at this side of the chart here with my hand. So this side here, this bit that's illuminated, that person is the sun sign in the sign of Aries. So that's a really bad thing to do there. Sure, I'm probably better off doing a screenshot. And there's 10 planets in a birth chart that we use. And we use the sun, we use Mercury, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and then we use Uranus, Neptune and Pluto. So we use a lot of planets in a chart. So we don't use stars. Don't get confused about astrology and think astrology is all about stars. It's absolutely nothing to do with stars. It's to do with planets. Planets that are in our zodiac. So with it being January and there's a whole year ahead of us, I'm going to work my way through a thing called an ephemeris. So I will put a link to this year's ephemeris, and if you understand a teeny bit of astrology then you'll know what all the symbols mean, but I'll assume that you don't. So I'm going to work my way month by month for this year, just to let you know what the predominant planets are doing and what signs of the zodiac it's going to affect. Now, keeping in mind that your chart is going to have 10 segments in it, 10 planets, it's going to have 12 houses. Houses are the divisions of the chart, the birth chart that we make, and any one of those planets can be transiting means moving through a certain segment of your chart, and it will affect being a sort of don't take that word literally, but will be reflecting as above, so below. Will be doing something, reflecting, making something happen or not happen in more than just your sun sign. So there you are, I've given the example of Gemini, but you might have, for instance, Moon in the sign of Capricorn, and today we're the 7th of January, the Moon today I think is in Capricorn, and it's just about to go into Aquarius. Yes, and while I'm making this recording today, the moon's in Capricorn. If you were a Gemini and you were born when the moon was in Capricorn, then today you're going to be feeling more emotional because the moon is in your own moon sign. Okay, so just putting aside to natal astrology, which is making up your birth chart, making it individual to you, I'm going to be talking to you now sun sign astrology. I'm going to be working which signs of the zodiac are going to be most affected by planetary movements this year. So if I don't mention your sign, it doesn't mean to say that there's good or it's bad, but if I don't mention your sign, I apologise if you're listening to all of this and going, oh, but Mary didn't mention my sign. If you have your birth chart made up, you will have something in that sign. It's very, very rare. Well, it's impossible, because when you have your birth chart made up, it has all the signs of the zodiac in. Okay, we have the sky above us and below us, all the way around us, and the planets are moving all the time. And just because something isn't particularly moving through some segment of your chart doesn't mean to say that you're not going to be affected by it, because it might be opposite to something in your chart. It might be what we call square, so 90 degrees to something in your chart. And every day of every month the moon will be affecting your chart, because the moon takes approximately 2 days to change sign. So the moon orbits around us, and then we orbit around the sun, and the other planets all orbit around everything else. Everything goes around the sun. So okay, so we're now January. The two signs of the zodiac in January are Capricorn and Aquarius. So this month, these are the birthdays for Capricorn and Aquarius. The sun changes sign into Aquarius on the 21st of this month. Now, I'm not going to mention the moon, I'll be here forever. Mercury, which is the planet communication, will be in the sign of Sagittarius from the 1st until the 6th, so we've missed that, so we'll ignore that. It's now in the sign of Capricorn. So if your sun sign's Capricorn, Mercury is now in your sign. This month is the time for you to be heard and understood. Venus is just about to go into Sagittarius, so if you're a Saggy, you've got until the end of this month to get out there and date. Mars is already in the sign of Aries, so every Aries can start celebrating at the moment, because Mars is your ruling planet. It's the one that looks after you, it's the one that keeps an eye on you, it's the one that you've got the affinity with. So you'll find for the whole of this month you're feeling quite energetic. Sagittarius, Jupiter is transiting through Sagittarius, so we've got a few days of Mercury and then that's finished, and now we've got a whole year for, if you're a Saggy, this is your year. You need to make the best of it. So if you want to know more about what Sagittarius is all about, you need to find a chap. Now my mind's going to go blank. My mind's not blank. He's called he bends spoons, and he's in Israel, and he is called, oh my goodness, my mind's gone blank. It'll come back to me. But anyway, Anyway, he's a Sagittarius, and you need to find him on Twitter. I'll have to put his name in the show notes. Saturn is in the sign of Capricorn, so there's quite a lot of planets in your sign at the moment, and Saturn's going to be there for another 18 months. Again, it's a ruling planet, so Mars is in its happy home, Saturn is in its happy home, and that's all of this year. So the whole of this year and some of next year. It's your ruling planet. It'll allow you to, if you're Capricorn, to come down to earth, to get practical, to get realistic, to get things accomplished, to be able to do things properly. We've got the last little bit of a transit for Aries with the planet Uranus. So it's been in sign, it spends 7 years approximately in each sign of the zodiac. So if you're an Aries, you're just coming to the end of it. It's going retrograde. You just come to the end of its influence. It'll be completely out of orb by March this year. So if there's something you haven't done, get on and do it, because Mars is going to be helping you do that now. Neptune's transiting through the sign of Pisces. I've done a whole podcast on that, and I've also done a YouTube video, so you do need to watch that. I'll put the link for that in the show notes below. Pluto's transiting through Capricorn. It's been affecting Capricorns for a long amount of time. Keep that to one side. Forget about Pluto for the time being, because Saturn is assisting you at the moment. Pluto was causing a lot of change and transformation and dramatic, over-the-top things for Capricorns, but for the next 18 months, you can breathe the sigh of relief. You've got some help now from Saturn. February. So the month starts with the sun being in the sign of Aquarius, and it's there right up until the 18th, and then it goes into the sign of Pisces. So now, if you're Aquarius Pisces, I am talking to you. You've got Mercury, so Aquarius, be happy. It's in your sign right up until the 10th of February. It went into your sign on the 25th of January. Okay, and it lasts right up until the 10th of February. That's the time to be heard and understood. So if you need to write some letters, if you need to do some teaching, if you want to be able to communicate something to your friends or family, do it during that transit, because when Mercury is transiting through our signs, no matter what we say, everybody hears us. And then it will go into the sign of Pisces on the 11th of February. Venus, love, is going into the sign of Capricorn on the 4th of February. So if you're a Capricorn and you want to get dating or to improve your love life, do that in February. Mars is still in the sign of Aries. It'll go into Taurus on the 15th of February. All the other planets, as I've mentioned just now, are staying the same, okay? March. Month starts in Pisces, finishes on the 20th this year, and then it goes into the sign of Aries. So Pisces, Aries, I'm talking to you now. Mercury's in your sign, Pisces. It now goes retrograde on the 6th of March. Actually, that's the day after my birthday, goodness me. So if you are a Pisces, you need to remember that when you get to March and you get to the 6th of March, it lasts 3 weeks until the 29th of March. Everybody's going to completely misunderstand you. When a Mercury goes retrograde, you need to be very clear about communication. Venus will be transiting through the sign of Aquarius for most of March. Starts on the 2nd, goes all the way to the 26th, and then on the 27th it goes into Pisces. Sorry, did I say that was Venus? That's Venus I'm talking about, beg your pardon. Venus is in the sign of Aquarius from the 2nd of March until the 26th of March. So that's the love planet Aquarius. So again, if you're dating, trying to improve your love life, in fact, it's a good time to improve finances when Venus goes into your sign. Mars now in March is transiting through the sign of Taurus. This is something that only happens once a year to each sign of the zodiac. It'll give you tons of energy, absolutely loads. For the whole of March, you can feel right on top of the world. I won't go any further because Jupiter is still in the sign of Sagittarius. That's not altering. I will mention if it goes retrograde April, we are now. Sun starts the month in the sign of Aries. It started the previous month, the exact date, which I did mention earlier. Might not have done 21st. The sun goes into the sign of Aries. April, we begin the month in your sign. It stays in your sign until the 20th of April, and then it goes into Taurus. So Aries, Taurus, I'm talking to you now. Mercury's in the sign of Pisces. It came out of retrograde on the 29th of March. It's now in April, still transiting through the sign of Pisces, and will continue until the 17th of April. So it's a long transit. It normally only lasts about a month, but because of the retrograding, it's making it last that little bit longer. Venus is in your sign, Pisces, in April. Lush, get out there and date. Goes into Aries on the 21st of April. Mars is in the sign of Gemini. So I mentioned Geminis earlier. Hooray! Gemini, for the whole of April, you will have pots of energy. Keeping in mind that because Mars is the planet of action, aggression, and energy, don't get into a fight in April. Jupiter now is going to go retrograde, Sagittarians, pay attention, on the 11th of April. That lasts until it goes on quite a long time, until the 12th of August. So any investments you might have made, any luck that you might have received, okay, make sure it doesn't all untangle itself, because Jupiter's a lovely planet. It's about philosophy, long distance travel, further education. It's the ruling planet of Sagittarius, and we start the year with a lot of planets in their natural homes. When Jupiter goes retrograde, make sure you're not losing all those things that you've gained. Okay, we're now into May. We're into Taurus, and that lasts until the 21st of May, and then it goes into Gemini on the 22nd. Mercury starts in Aries. That started the previous month on the 18th. Aries will last with you until the 6th of May. Then it goes into Taurus. Taurus, hello. Another planet of yours. You've got Mercury for most of May until the 21st of May, and then it goes into Gemini. Gemini, you'd be very happy about that. The sun goes into your sign on the 22nd of May, and then Mercury goes into your sign also on the 22nd of May. Yes, so Mercury's your ruling planet, the one that looks after you. You will feel heard and understood. lush. Venus starts the month in Aries. We're in May now. Venus starts the month and goes on until the 15th of May. Then it goes into Taurus. Now Taurus, that's your ruling planet. So when you get to the 16th of May, the planet that looks after you will be giving you a heads up and a boost of energy, because Venus is the love planet. Mars is in the sign of Gemini. Mars is in the sign of Gemini until the 16th of May. Then it goes into Cancer. Cancer, you don't do too well when Mars is in your sign, because you're not really a sign that goes around bashing people on the head or getting argumentative. Watch out, you don't do that. Okay, when we get to the 17th of May, that lasts until right to the end of June. Goodness me. June we're in now. Month starts Gemini, lasts until the 21st of June. Then on the 22nd it goes into Cancer. Mercury again starts in the sign of Gemini, changes into Cancer on the 5th of June. So Cancer, hello. When Mercury goes into your sign, heard and understood, great, but watch out for that Mars transit. That is for all of June. Okay, so you're going to have Mercury in your sign towards the end of the month on the 22nd. The Sun will be in your sign, but with Mars there as well. Go and jog, get down the gym, don't go bashing people on the nose. Venus is in the sign of Taurus still, lovely, your ruling planet Taurus, until the 9th of June, and then it goes into Gemini. So Gemini, if you're dating, the 10th of June is your month start. Lasts right to the end of the month. Get out there and date. Your love life will improve. I won't mention Jupiter, that's already mentioned at being retrograde. July, month starts in Cancer, goes on until the 23rd of July. Then the Sun goes into Leo, hello Leo, on the 24th of July. Mercury starts in Leo, so that started for you the previous month on the 28th of June. Mercury, okay, Leo, I need to apologise now. You're not going to like me telling you this. Mercury's going to go retrograde in your sign on the 8th of July, so watch out that you are not misunderstood. It retrogrades all the way back through the sign of Leo, back into the sign of Cancer. So two signs of the Zodiac are going to be affected in July. Leo and Cancer. Misinterpretations, people getting the wrong end of the stick. Don't sign too many contracts. If you have to, make sure you read the small print. July starts with Venus just for a few days up until the 3rd. Venus is still in your sign Gemini, and then Venus goes into the sign of Cancer. Lush, that's nice. But for the whole of July you've got Venus and Mars in your sign, so Venus will take off a little bit of the edge of Mars, which is a bit about action, aggression and energy, and the month starts with Mars just for one day, so it's only the 1st of July, and then you've got Venus, which is nice, on the 4th. Leo, on the 2nd of July, Mars goes into your sign, so you're going to have a Mercury retrograde and you're going to have Mars, which is the planet of action, aggression and energy. Don't get into arguments. That lasts for the whole of July right up till the end. Jupiter I won't mention, I've mentioned that already. August, we're starting with Leo. That's your sign, lasts right up until the 23rd, but then goes into Virgo. Mercury goes direct on the 1st of August, hurrah. So Cancer and Leo, all those misinterpretations and misunderstandings will now finish. Mercury continues to transit through the sign of Leo. Continue to transit through the sign of Cancer until it goes back into the sign Leo on the 12th of August. So Leo, by the time we get to the 12th of August, things are going to be lifting, feeling a bit better. Plus, you have a big chunk of the month with Venus in your sign going from the previous month right up until the 21st of August. Love, 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 love. And then it goes into Virgo on the 22nd. Mars is still transiting through your sign Leo right up until the 18th of August. Jupiter won't mention. Well, I will mention the fact that it goes direct. So Sagittarius, Jupiter goes direct in your sign on the 12th of August. Then things breathe a sigh of relief. The whole year, Sagittarius, Jupiter is in your sign. It doesn't matter too much about the retrogrades, but this is the year you need to do whatever it is you want to do. Okay, you're going to get the means, the methods, the what's the word? You're going to get the encouragement from people. On September now, month starts in Virgo, carries on until the 23rd, then the 24th it goes into Leo. Mercury's in your sign, Virgo. Again, you're another sign like Gemini where Mercury is your ruling planet. That started on the 30th of August, continues until the 14th of September. Yay! Heard and understood. Any writing you need to do, if you are a writer, get it done. End of August, beginning of September until the 14th. Then it goes into sign of Libra. Libra, hello. Mercury's in your sign from the 15th until the end of the month, and we'll carry on to next month. Venus is now in Virgo in September, so if you're dating, if you've got love issues, they get resolved in September. That lasts until the 14th. Then Libra, Venus is your ruling sign, so on the 15th of September, please circle that in your calendar. You've got Mercury in your sign and you've got Venus making a lovely transit lasting right up until October, so that's a brilliant time for you from the 15th of September. Love, 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 love. Mars is in Virgo. Ooh, I don't know that Virgos really like too much Mars. I don't know how much you do down the gym, but at least get outdoors and do something. That's the whole of September. So on the one hand, you've got the beneficial Sun, Mercury and Venus in your sign, but with Mars in there, again, don't get to fights or arguments. Won't mention Jupiter. I think all the outer planets. Oopsie. Neptune went retrograde. Let me go back. Ooh, when did that happen? Neptune went retrograde on the 22nd of June. So Pisces, just need to shove that in for you there. Don't get into tangled messes, please. In June, your ruling planet is going retrograde, and that lasts until it's a long retrograde. The end of the year. The end of the year. Okay, so right off the end of the year. I'm not saying goodbye to the end of the year, but yeah, don't get too involved. So that was September. We're now into October. I think the outer planets. Pluto's retrograde in a Capricorn, but there's nothing much you can do about that. Uranus is starting to retrograde again on the 1st of October. That's a bummer. If you are a Taurus, you've now got Uranus retrograding. So if you're an early-born Taurus, so you're an April-born Taurus, we get to October and Uranus is now retrograding. Now watch out for that, because Uranus is the planet of sudden happenings, so make sure your furniture's screwed down. Nothing's just going to go loose and fly away. We're into October. The month starts in the sign of Libra, works all the way through until the 23rd. On the 24th, it goes into Scorpio. Mercury starts in the sign of Libra, changes into Scorpio on the 4th of October. From the 4th of October to the end of the month and begin to next month, Scorpio. Heard and understood. Lush. Venus is in Libra still, so get out there, carry on with the dating until we get to the 8th of October, Libra. Then Scorpio takes over on the 9th. Mars starts in Virgo, changes into Libra. So Libra, I don't think... Yeah, Libra, you've got Mars now, so you get the end of Mercury, the end of Venus, and then on the 5th of October, you've now got Mars transiting your sign. Again, don't get into arguments, get out there and get physical. Jupiter's okay, Saturn's not retrograde, that's good. Uranus, I've mentioned, is retrograde. Neptune retrograde. Pluto's retrograde. Capricorn, just concentrate on Saturn, don't worry about the Pluto retrograde. November, month starts in Scorpio, carries on until the 22nd November, and then it's in the sign of Sagittarius from the 23rd. Saggy, you're going to enjoy that. Mercury is retrograde now. Oh my lord, when did that start? Mercury retrograde. How did that slip past me? Mercury started 1st of November. Okay, Mercury's retrograding now in the sign of Scorpio. Oh, watch out, Scorpio. That lasts, the retrograde lasts in November until the 21st. So from the 1st of November to the 21st of November, if you are a Scorpio, please double check everything that's written down. 1st of November, Venus is in your sign, Scorpio, and then it goes into Saggy. You're going to be enjoying Venus from the 2nd of November right until the 26th. Then it goes into Capricorn on the 27th. Mars, Libra. Mars is still in your sign. Please don't go bashing anybody on the nose. Lasts until the 19th. Then it goes into Scorpio on the 20th. Jupiter okay. Saturn, Uranus is still retrograde. Neptune's still retrograde. Pluto came out of retrograde Capricorn. You'll be pleased to know. When did that happen? On the 3rd of October. I should have mentioned that. Apologies. We're now December. Hi, Saggy. The sun is in your sign, lasts until the 22nd, then it goes into Capricorn on the 23rd. Mercury's in the sign of Scorpio right up until the 9th. Then on the 10th, Sagittarius, Mercury's in your sign, heard and understood. Lush carries on until the 29th of December, so don't overdo it when we get to the new year, because then it goes into Capricorn. Venus, you've Capricorn, Venus is in your sign, Lush, until the 20th of December, changes into Aquarius on the 21st. Mars is in the sign of Scorpio. That's a ruling planet to you. So actually, if you're a Scorpio, December's a fab month. Jupiter now finishes its transit in the sign of Saggy. It's just the first 2 days of December, and then, I'm sorry, that's the end of your wonderful Jupiter transit. It's not going to happen again for another 12 years. Goes into the sign of Capricorn on the 3rd of December. So Cappies, when we get to December, you've got the sun goes into your sign on the 23rd. Mercury isn't there. Venus is there for the whole of the month. Jupiter starts on the 3rd. Saturn is already transiting. It's halfway through, nearly 3/4 of the way through your sign. So Capricorn, December's nice for you in 2019. Outer planets, Uranus is still retrograding. Sorry, Taurus, that's right to the end of the year. Neptune is finishing its retrograde in the sign of Pisces on the 28th of November. Whew, Pisces, you can breathe a sigh of relief as you come up to Christmas. It's not going to be bad. And Pluto's still in Capricorn, so don't fret. Capricorn, you've already got nice things going on with Venus and Saturn, so that's all good. So that's a quick jump all the way around through each sign of the zodiac. I hope I haven't talked too fast, and I hope this recording doesn't last too long. It's 26 something minutes. My name's Mary English. You can find me at maryenglish.com, maryenglish.co.uk. If you want to see astrology, please go to ukastrologer.co.uk. That is my website. You can get in contact with me there. You can email me, mary@maryenglish.co.uk, and I hope you have a wonderful year. I know we'll be making another video about this year's planets because I've done it. But if you want to learn astrology, please go to my podcast. It's called Astro Mary. No relation to the website called Astro Mary. That's not my website. That's not me. That's French. Don't get me confused with that. If you want to learn astrology, go to my podcast. I'll put the links in the show notes. And if you subscribe, you will occasionally get a video from me telling you about something to do with the planets. But if you want to know a lot about astrology, then do follow my podcast. I broadcast every Sunday at 12 o'clock, so every week there's a new lesson. We're up to 107 at the moment. The first 20 teach you astrology, the rest of them give you extra information, but you can learn astrology free on my podcast, and we use a free website called astro.com. So have a fabulous 2019. Okay, bye bye now.